Okay, welcome again to another episode of Dark Energy Matters, bringing you into a light, truly striving to understand the divine existence of the human beings and our origination and where shall we go from here. We have been limited in our knowledge and understanding of the universal reality in which we see outside of ourselves when we look up at the sky and see the stars, we see the moon, we see the sun, but not questioning or untruly understanding what is beyond the realms of the physical eye and how we have been controlled in determining what we see, what we can see, and what we can't see with our physical eye because of the limited uh, educational paradigm we have been placed in since we came into this physical birth of reality on this plane of existence. The powers that be has been able to control the mental faculties of the humans based upon what knowledge they're allowed to get out and what knowledge they're allowed to keep within themselves. There are many different uh, dimensions and elements of our physical being and existence, but we have to begin to seek and ask more questions in understanding our true divine purpose for being in this physical existence and what is beyond our human existence, not knowing that there is a strong possibility that there is life beyond our physical realm of what we perceive to be reality. But we have to begin to search our own eternal mind to seek the answers because, again, we have been conditioned and programmed not to think outside that realm of existence, even though we do have uh, astrophysicists. We have people who study the stars, who study horoscopes, who study the planets, who study the gravitational pull of our reality, who studies outside of the realms of what we have been given. And if we don't improve our knowledge of what is reality, then who knows? Will there be a further existence of the human reality upon this planet because of our limited understanding of what we seek as far as beyond the realms of this planet? We know there are other planets out there in existence, and we know that man, certain elements of man, has been able to actually study those existence, but those who are in control only let out a limited knowledge. And if we only plugged in and tuned into what they give us, then uh, for sure that we will no longer those ones who are dependent upon the knowledge that is just given by certain elements of man, then for sure our very existence depends on their survival, what they give us, and not our own survival, what we give ourselves. We have been also given the concept of God based upon religion, but the religion, for some reason, has begun to stifle the minds of the human being's existence, and it stifles us to not look within inside of ourselves for guidance once the Messiah figures or the people who have been given a understanding on a higher dimension and who who are dependent on its inner circle to disseminate the knowledge to the other people, and if they don't disseminate it with a purity of heart, then it still stifles the growth or development of the human mind. I remember studying the knowledge of who is the original man, and then we were taught the original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. But yet we never really wanted to delve any deeper in that. And when there were times when I would get up and teach upon that knowledge, and some of the elders would in the beginning would say, "Now that you can't be God, you can't be that." And then the more they begin to teach, they begin to realize, "Oh wow, yes, that is the teachings." But because we have been, like I say, people who've been in the inner circle, uh, for some reason wanted to keep the knowledge of understanding to themselves, so they can be looked and praised upon, and not be able to share it and give it to other people. So you create a hierarchy among your group that you were teaching, and whenever you create a hierarchy, then you limited each people in your tribe limitations, and then you also limit the growth within the tribe, because if everybody had the uh, able to share their understanding, then it truly will help the tribe. But when you begin to put down certain elements of dissent because you feel that they may be trying to take your shine or your light, not understanding. No, they try to bring it all together, and the more we bring it all together, the more we can grow. And as I was studying again and reading in the power of the subconscious mind, it truly helps me in tune into who I am, but also I'm trying to help disseminate the information to who you are. Scientists use the subconscious mind. Scientists use the subconscious mind. Many scientists realize the true importance of the subconscious mind. Einstein, Edison, and a few others, and many others have used the subconscious mind. It has given them the insight and the know-how for all their great achievements in the modern science and industry. Research has shown that the ability to bring into action the subconscious power has determined the success of all great scientific and research workers. So scientists, when I say they keep the knowledge to particular groups of hierarchy and hiding it or keeping it from the masses, because for some reason they fear to share with the masses, it would limit the growth of the planet, not realizing it would actually enhance the growth of the planet as we move into a higher technological age of life, as we created the computer, as we understand there's a computer chip, and then there's a program. That program can tap into ultimate and multiple levels of knowledge. You can tap in a certain name, and you're going to get the ultimate definition of what you're seeking within a matter of seconds. Now imagine placing that, having that same ability within our own mind, and be able to access all the files of our life, pre-life, before life, after life, and all of that. That would advance the human potential of growth and development. And then it would also help us in determining if there is existence of intelligence on the outside. We will be able to compete on that level of intelligence. You notice when some of these sci-fi movies are produced, they always show the more intelligence of the beings coming from the realms of other universal beings coming onto the planet, but their technology is so far advanced from the earthly beings. So sometimes they look at us and say, well, God, you all haven't used your advanced knowledge, and the knowledge that you're sitting on and not being able to expand your thinking because you want to subjugate the minds of people. So we have to be careful with that. But again, because of the internet and age, you can be able to search on your own. And there's a few of us searching on our own and truly trying to understand the realms of possibility of life and existence. And sometimes you have to go underground because either stay in the dark, as my program talks about dark matter energy, bringing it into light, because of the fear that it would get out into the masses of people, and then they won't be able to control the people as they are doing now. As long as they control our thinking and control and program our subconscious mind and our conscious mind, then we would never be able to use the powers of our conscious mind. How a distinguished scientist brought forth his invention, Tesla, the guy Tesla, he was a brilliant electrical scientist who brought forth the most amazing innovation. When an idea for a new invention came into his mind, he would build it up in his imagination, knowing that his subconscious mind will reconstruct and reveal to his conscious mind all the parts needed for its manufacture in concrete form. Now, through quality contemplating every possible improvement, he spent no time in correcting defects. He was able to give the technician the perfect product of his mind. Listen to that. He said, invariably, my devices work as I imagine it should. In 20 years, there has not been a single inception. Now, this is, again, the realms of possibilities of the mind that we can bring up into our subconscious mind, our imagination of innovation, and then put it into practicality from the subconscious mind, accepting the thoughts that comes into the subconscious mind and creates ideas that can advance and that advance the human development. So we have those abilities, but again, you have to reject the norms of life and just believing that only thing I can do in life is just work and sleep and eat. Those are the basic necessities that they has given us. This is the basic necessities of life is food, clothing, and shelter. And as long as they program me to think that that's the basic necessities for your existence or our existence on this planet, then we will never have the opportunity to think outside that realm and also to advance the human thought and the human technology and upgrading our paradigm into a higher level of existence. Who knows? We could be the aliens, but on a lower level of a vibration. But as long as we glorifying twerking and reality shows or all of this football and sports, and that's the glorification of that. And you see people with millions or billions of dollars, but yet they're still yearning for existence. So they go and get addicted to drugs, or just trying to do the most perversion things of life and realize, man, that's not elevating the advancements of human existence. It's keeping us on a lower vibration. But if you got access to billions of dollars and you're not using it for the advancement of humanity, then we continue to be stifled, and sooner or later we may be in non-existence because we did nothing with our time. The only thing we did was strive for money and keep striving for money and not giving the people anything. And that's just, it's just sad situation that we're in. So the power of the subconscious mind. This is how a famous naturalist solved his problem. A distinguished naturalist discovered the indefatigable activities of his subconscious mind while he slept. The following has been reported by his widow. He had been for 2 weeks striving to decipher the somewhat obscure impression of a fossil fish on the stone slab in which it was preserved. Weary and perplexed, he put his work aside at last and tried to dismiss it from his mind. Shortly after, he waked one night, persuaded that while asleep, he had seen his fish with all the missing features perfectly restored. But when he tried to hold and make fast the image, it escaped him. Check this out though. Nevertheless, he went early, thinking that on looking anew at the impression, he should see something which would put him on the track of his vision. In vain, the blurred record was as black as ever. But check this out. The next night, he saw the fish again, but with not more satisfactory results. When he awoke, it disappeared from his memory as before. Hoping that the same experience might be repeated on a third night, he placed a pencil and paper beside his bed before going to sleep. Accordingly, toward morning, the fish reappeared in his dreams, confused at first, but at last with such distinctiveness that he had no longer any doubts as to its zoological characters. Still half dreaming in perfect darkness, he traced these characters on a sheet of paper at his bedside. In the morning, he was surprised to see in his nocturnal sketch features which he thought it impossible the fossil itself should reveal. He hastened back to the place and with his drawing as a guide succeeded, now check this out, in chiseling away the surface of the stone under which portion of the fish proved to be hidden. When wholly exposed, it corresponded with his dream and his drawing, and he succeeded in classifying it with ease. Wow. Let me continue. Wow. With ease. Now, check out that power. He had been trying to figure out the other aspects of the fossil fish that was etched in stone. In his dream state, the fish came into his subconscious mind. And for 3 days, wrangling, trying to get the true image from his dream state, on a third day, it revealed itself to him. And he went to the place where the stone was half covered. And as he chiseled it out, first he drew it down on the third day, the image that it came to him in his subconscious state of sleep, wrote it down, went to the place where it was at, and the same image he drew from his dream was the same image he chiseled from the stone. And it was the same duplicate image. From his dream state, he brought the knowledge of what he was seeking into reality, because he was seeking understanding, seeking answers. We're talking about the power of the subconscious mind that can guide humanity to a much more higher level of vibration and a higher realm of knowledge. So when the species of other planets do come down, they will see people who will be saved. So now we are moving into a higher state of knowledge and vibration. Let's move on. Let's talk about another physician who solved the problem of diabetes. Some years ago, I received a clipping from a magazine. About 40 years ago more, a brilliant Canadian physician and surgeon was concentrating his attention on the ravages of diabetes. At that time, medical science offered no effective medicine of dealing with the disease. The doctor spent considerable time experimenting and studying the eternal literature on the subject. One night he was exhausted and fell asleep. While asleep, his subconscious mind instructed him to extract the residues from the degenerate pancreatic duct of dogs. Oh my. This was the origin of insulin, which has helped millions of people. You will know that Dr. Banting had been consciously dwelling on the problem for some time, seeking a solution, a way out, and his subconscious mind responded accordingly. It does not follow that you will always get an answer overnight. The answer may come for some time. Don't be discouraged. Keep on turning the problem over every night to the subconscious mind prior to sleep. One of the reasons for the delay may be that you look upon it as a major problem. You may believe it will take a long time to solve it. Your subconscious mind is timeless and spaceless. Go to sleep believing you have the answer now. Do not postulate the answer in the future. Have an abiding faith in the outcome. Become convinced now that there is an answer and a perfect solution for you. Again, the power of the subconscious mind that dwells within all of us. So as we close out this segment of the power of the subconscious mind, know of a surety, and they say in the Bible, seek and you will find. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Do not limit our thinking, your thinking, into what you're searching for. The answers always lies from within. Thank you again for listening to another episode of Dark Matter Energy, bringing you into true light within yourself. Peace and love.